All right, everybody, welcome back to the Move podcast. Talking about the Tour of Spain, La Vuelta España, week 1 recap. I am joined by, of course, Johan Brunel. Where are you, Johan? You in Madrid?
I'm in Madrid.
Okay.
And it's wet in Madrid, in all of Spain, actually. Very wet.
That's pretty rare. I didn't know if you were a Burning Man. That's also been apparently very... you've never even heard of Burning. You're like, what is that? But yes,
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, you got to look it up. And JB down there in ATX, Austin, Texas,
still battling triple digits down here.
And Mr. George Hincap, he looks like he's out at the lake house.
Yes, sir. For the 80 degree temperature.
You know what, guys? One of these days we'll get an invite out there to that lake house.
Where are you? Where are you?
I'm actually because of exactly what you said, triple digits. I don't know, whatever. Austin, of course, we've made the move back to Austin. That heat is something. I tell you what, you get used to not being around it and get thrown back in. That's some real shit. But so in order to try and escape the triple digits down in Austin, we were out in Marfa, Texas. One of my favorite places and I mean it. And a lot of people have not heard of Marfa. It's in far west Texas. It's a super interesting place, very small town. It's this mix of cattle ranchers and artists. But it's kind of a buzzy little place because of the art scene. But it's the elevation's high. It's about 5,000 feet, and it's a little cooler. I mean, it gets up there during the day, but like I was just out sitting outside drinking coffee. It was probably in the high 60s.
Have you ever experienced the true Marfa lights?
I have not. In fact, I've never even tried.
I have.
Did you see them?
It's insane. It's insane. I won't spend too much time on this. It's a tangent. But if you would have seen what my wife and I saw, the Marfa lights experience, if it was 1960, you'd have said there are UFOs invading.
Come on. Because I've heard so many people say they drive all the way out there, they spend the time, and they don't see anything. So I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to go do that. But I'm also the guy that goes on hikes and like, there's like a world famous waterfall. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's keep hiking. Before we get into all the action, today's show brought to you by OneSkin. Are you tired of cycling through the endless amount of trending skincare products that all claim to smooth wrinkles, firm skin, and give you a youthful glow? Well, now comes the real deal. OneSkin. Here's the thing. Founded by 4 female PhD level longevity scientists, after testing thousands of peptides, they discovered OS1. The OS1 peptide is scientifically proven to target aged, also called senescent cells, the main source of skin aging, and actually reduces the biological age of skin by several years. OneSkin is for everyone that wants to prevent or reverse the signs of aging with a groundbreaking approach. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. And here's the deal. You get 15% off. Just go to oneskin.co. That's CO, not .com. Oneskin.co. Use the code THEMOVE. You get 15%. Let me think about this. You get 15% off and you look 15% younger. I'm down with that. Jeez. Also today brought to you by HVMN. We often hear that fasting and exercise are good for the brain. HVMN launched the world's first drinkable ketone in 2017. Ketone IQ is their latest innovation on ketones with improved effectiveness, taste, and cost. Ketone IQ delivers clean fuel that can cross the blood-brain barrier, supplying your brain and body sustained energy, focus, and sharpness, putting you in flow, lasting for hours. Maybe that's what I needed with the Marfa lights, just some ketones. Go out there, see it better. It is no wonder that HVMN supplies ketones to more than 60% of the teams in this Tour of Spain, and has an active $6 million contract with the U.S. Special Operations Command. You can save 30% off your first subscription order of Ketone IQ at hvmn.com/themove. Again, that's hvmn.com/themove. All right, let's talk about the race. Let's talk about the Tour of Spain. And I will admit, I have not caught much of the Tour of Spain, and I have a good excuse. Moving back to Austin, getting the kids in school, just kind of getting back into the rhythm. I've missed a lot of it, but I know y'all haven't. And but I've read a lot about it, read the headlines, read the stories. Damn, every day there's something. There's some drama. There's some lead change. There's some controversy. There's a weather event. There's neutralized stages. There's crashes. I mean, what hitting spectators? What is going on, Johan?
Well, it's the Tour of Spain.
Exactly.
Although it is owned by ASO, it is still the old organization Unipublic who's organizing. And in their defense, they really, the weather has been not very friendly, very unpredictable. And so, we had that incident in Barcelona with the team time trial, which in my opinion could have been avoided. But yeah, I mean, we did talk about a few stages already. I think we should start by acknowledging the incredible performance of Sepp Kuss.
Yeah.
Stage 6 was in that breakaway, won the mountaintop finish and took the leader's jersey. And who would have thought, after before the first rest day, that everybody thought Jumbo-Visma would be in the lead, but nobody would have thought it would be Sepp Kuss. And now he starts to look as a potential winner. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think you can't count him out.
Johan, I mean, as a director, going back to when you were leading Lance and Roberto Heros and these guys in the Vuelta, like, would have you ever let a guy like Sepp Kuss get 6 minutes up the road when you have the titans of cycling, Jonas and Primoz, that you have to deal with already? And then all of a sudden you got a guy like Sepp Kuss, give him a 6 minute advantage. I mean, you're going to be chasing your tail for the rest of the Vuelta now, because now you have 3 guys that you have to deal with. Sepp Kuss is one of the best climbers in the world. You can't count him out now. We don't know how he's going to time trial, but still, I mean, on the climbs, there's nobody better than him.
It's not just not letting Sepp Kuss go up the road. I mean, there were 40 guys in that breakaway.
Oh my God.
That can never, ever, ever happen. Never.
And three or four jumbo guys. I mean, that's like the worst case scenario for a guy like Remco. Like, something like that goes, that's an immediate panic reaction by the defending team, Remco's team, in that instance, that you got to chase that down instantly. Yeah. That was a huge tactical mistake.
40 guys, you're screwed. I mean, if you don't shut it down straight away or you don't find any allies, and luckily they did, in the likes of Ineos and I think UAE at some point. Don't remember exactly, but 40 guys. I mean, this doesn't matter who's in there. You can't let 40 guys go away. Never.
Well, how legitimate is Sepp Kuss as an overall threat, Johan, especially? Because I want to know what you think. We've never really get to see him do a proper time trial in a Grand Tour, because he's probably going a bit easy because he's got to work in other capacities.
But just before you answer, just to frame it up, I mean, he has 43 seconds on Marc Soler. He's got 2:22 on Remco. He's got, of course, his teammates. He's got 2.5 minutes roughly on Roglic and Vingegaard. I mean, but that's real time.
It is. Normally you would think tomorrow there's a 25-kilometer time trial. He would lose 2.5 minutes, although we have never seen him ride full gas in a flat time trial before.
Right.
But I still think he's going to lose that kind of time. I think the only question here is, how long can he maintain this? Let's not forget, this is his 3rd Grand Tour. To me, it seems like he's in the best shape he's better than in the Tour and better than in the Giro.
I agree.
So I would be worried. Normally you would say, okay, obviously Jonas and Primoz are the leaders. There's more guarantees, but for the moment they don't have to attack, and they can let all the work up to Evenepoel and the UAE guys, and maybe a little bit Movistar. So they're in an incredible position. I mean, it's going to take a strong, super strong Remco. I don't think Mas and Ayuso are up for the task, but it's going to take a super, super strong Remco to win this. Well, for not a Jumbo-Visma rider to not win this Vuelta.
Right, and he doesn't look just in the bits and pieces I picked up on. He's just not he's not firing.
Well, I mean,
by the way, can I just say, I mean, trying to think back to our careers and George, I don't know how many times, if ever. Yeah, you did a couple. I mean, I did that year with the Giro and Tour. I mean, to do all three and to be in this position, like I never wanted to do 2 Grand Tours in 1 year, right? I only did it once because I got paid a lot of money to do the one race in Italy. But I have zero interest in doing more than one. The fact that I remember us all talking amongst ourselves, like, golly, is he really going to do all three? Now he's going to lead. I mean, and when we say Ironman, that's what we mean. I mean, this is so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, and you're now at the end of the season, a very hard season. Half the guys at the Vuelta probably don't even want to be there. They're there because they got sent there. They were made to go. But for somebody like Sepp, we just lost Johan. He went an invisible man on us. Somebody like Sepp to have not only the physical attributes to recover from 2 Grand Tours now and leading the 3rd Grand Tour, but the mental energy it takes to make it through 1 Grand Tour. Like Lance and I would finish the Tour de France. We'd be like, we're done for the year. Yeah, we'd still keep racing, but mentally you're sort of checked out. For him to be, like Johan mentioned, even better than it seems he was in the other Grand Tours is incredible. I mean, the fact that he is leading the Vuelta right now is amazing, and I'm very excited to see how well he does in that time trial.
Well, it's different. It's different for Sepp Kuss, because you guys remember when you guys did the tour, not just physically, but especially mentally, you're drained because there's so much pressure. Sepp Kuss had that pressure, but individually he could kind of pick out his stages where he had to perform. And other than that, he could sit back. Now, this is what changes for him, right? He can't sit in the back anymore. Now he needs to be up front. He needs to be aware of everything. And it's to be seen now how he's going to deal with that, because it's a whole new world that opens for him. How can he deal with the pressure? Now, I've seen a few interviews of him, and to me, it sounds like he's confident. Right. He's confident that he's not going to lose 2 minutes in the time trial, and that he's going to fight to keep this jersey as long as he can. So I like that attitude. And we have to say the Vuelta is not the Tour, it's not the Giro. It's a lot with the morale, as you said, George. A lot of people are not motivated to be there, and I'm sure that the whole Jumbo-Visma team is super motivated. They dominate this race. They basically do whatever they want. It's like the strategy of all the other teams is, okay, let's see what Jumbo wants, and then we'll see what we do.
Right. So what's the strategy? Let's assume tomorrow that Vingegaard and Roglic put all that time in Sepp Kuss on the time trial. So that'll be the GC strategy. But then the remainder of this Vuelta, they just keep sending Sepp Kuss up the road and make Remco chase him just like they did in the first week. Is that the strategy?
I don't think they're going to let him. I mean, I don't think Quickstep, the Soudal Quickstep or UAE is not going to let him go anymore. It's to be seen tomorrow. I have, like last year, there was a 30-kilometer flat time trial. Evenepoel won, and he did put 2 minutes on the 10th. Which, I think if Sepp Kuss can be in the top 10, that would be amazing on a flat time trial. I think you have to calculate 2 minutes. I think Evenepoel's the favorite. He just recently won the World Championships. Primoz is probably the second favorite of the GC guys. And I cannot, Jonas hasn't convinced me yet. He's a little bit off. I think it's normal after his Tour de France, but I don't think we should expect a time trial of Jonas Vingegaard tomorrow like we've seen in the Tour de France. Completely different terrain and also completely different time of the year. But after tomorrow, I think it's going to be quite tight again. There's not going to be a lot of time between the big favorites, and those guys are going to come closer to Sepp Kuss. But let's, before the Pyrenees, before the Tourmalet, and before the Angliru, Jumbo-Visma with 3 guys, not 2, but 3 guys up there. I don't know how the others think about winning this race.
Let me ask you guys this. Having an American in red in the Vuelta, which hasn't happened in 10 years. And you guys have talked in the past on the show about how when a country gets momentum, the kids get motivated, they have heroes, it's momentum for a country. Maybe start with you on this one, George, what it means to have Sepp Kuss in red and what that message that sends about American cycling.
Well, it's massive. We've been watching Sepp in all the Grand Tours this whole year, and he just keeps getting better and better and doing things that even Johan and I and Lance weren't expecting. So I think he's just going to inspire a whole new breed of cyclists here in the country. Unfortunately, the Vuelta does not obviously get as much attention in the United States as the Tour de France, but he's leading the Vuelta and he's crushing it. And, we're going to see him in the red jersey tomorrow in that time trial. And of course, he's not a time trial specialist, but we all know how people react most of the time when they're leading a Grand Tour. He's going to time trial probably better than he ever has in his entire life. And like I said, Remco's the clear favorite. Like Johan said, Remco's the favorite for sure. But I would expect to see Sepp do a really strong ride and hopefully keep that jersey. Right,
that's right, George. And I mean, it's a shame that the Tour of Spain doesn't. I mean, look, it's a 3-week Grand Tour. It's the third biggest stage race in the world, but it just doesn't reach the level of attention here in the U.S. I think most sports fans don't even know that it's a race, and so to have an American leading, I'd have to go sit down and open the New York Times and see if it catches any attention. But it's a big story. It's a big global sports story, and it's great for American cycling. But the race is just is kind of an afterthought when it comes to, certainly if Americans have any interest in cycling, it is because of one race, right? And so as it tails off from there, it's hard to get attention. But nonetheless, the guy's done 3 Grand Tours this year. He's leading the race. He is American. He has an amazing story. I mean, his trajectory was also quite different than a lot of these other guys in the field, which I think is cool. Starting on a small American team or relatively small American team, and making his way up and earning his chops.
Yeah, it didn't help him that he gets in red the opening weekend of college football. For our European audience, it's hard to explain how big that is around here.
Yeah, it is. Also today, let's do a little bit of business. Today's show also brought to you by AG1. I literally drink it every day. I when I'm at home, I drink it out of, I store it in my little jug or in my little bowl. But, as I'm on the road out here in West Texas, I've got my travel packs. I gave it a try because I was tired of taking so many supplements, and I wanted a single solution that supports my entire body and covers my nutritional basis every single day. I especially wanted better gut health, a boost in energy, immune system support, and I was just sick and tired of taking a whole bunch of pills and vitamins. And I wanted a supplement that actually tasted great. Got the travel packs out here, great for traveling, which of course a lot of us do. A ton. So, by the way, all for less than $3 a day. Take control of your health for less than $3 a day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs. Yes, that's 5 free travel packs. With your first purchase, go to drinkag1.com/themove. One more time, drinkag1.com/themove. Last one. Today also brought to you by 8 Sleep. Now this thing, JB, you're talking about triple digits down there in Austin. All right. We all got hooked on the 8 Sleep mattress cover in Aspen this summer, but man, being down in Austin when it's hotter than donut grease outside, let me tell you something. This 8 Sleep, I've been telling everybody about the cooling mattress cover by 8 Sleep. It is so well done and it works so well. Like in the interface, the user experience, everything about it. I mean, it's like Steve Jobs designed this thing. It is that damn good. And of course, as it is 105 down in Austin, summer is reaching its apex. There's nothing worse than tossing, turning, sweating in the night because of the summer heat. That's just a fact. But I legit. And the other thing I get a lot of questions about is, can you separate the two sides? Anna likes one temperature, I like another temperature, and you can just straight up turn it off one side. So it's been a game changer. Head on over to 8 Sleep. That's all spelled out, EIGHT, 8sleep.com/themove. Saves you $150 on the pod cover. Again, 8sleep.com/themove. George, you got one out there at the lake house, or what do you just, you when you go out to, that's like one of the things, you go out to the lake, you just got to roll around and sweat at night.
I wish I'm going to have to hit them up and try to get one out here because like you said, that thing is game changer.
Yeah.
Not only does it, have an amazing effect on your sleep, but it actually sends you messages when it's hotter or cooler during the day than it is normally. Like I got a message the other day, so it's 5 degrees warmer outside today. We're going to make the mattress a bit cooler.
Yeah.
So it knows the temperature outside. It's incredible.
And it's got the alarm. It'll.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that thing was going on. Like at first, Anna was like, "Why is the mattress vibrating?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, honey. I'll turn that feature off." Anyways, let's talk about Tour Spain some more.
Yeah, so I think after Sepp Kuss took the lead, we got into stage 7. Not a lot to say. It was a bunch sprint, flat stage, but with a surprise winner, a lead out guy of 35 years old, Jeffrey Soup of Total Energies, and it's only his second race he won in his career. I think maybe you can put a picture up later on, but probably the best beard in cycling, George.
Yeah, agreed. I'm jealous of that beard.
and
you can grow a beard. That's saying a lot. I mean, I can't even grow a beard, so I should be.
This guy is like, I mean,
real.
Like it looks. Actually, his beard looks fake.
Are we talking like ZZ Top beard or?
I mean, he could grow a ZZ Top beard, no problem, but it looks fake, but it's real. Another thing that happened in that stage, Geraint Thomas went down again another time, and he's definitely injured. Is struggling. His teammate Tijmen Arendsman had a crazy, scary crash. It looked bad, but luckily after the tests, he was able to leave the hospital and nothing major happened. But
he did. I did read the quote that, I mean, he was very matter of fact, said, and of course everybody wears helmets these days, but he said without the helmet, he doesn't think he lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yikes.
It looks scary.
Yeah. Johan, I mean, the talk for me of the Vuelta, like we talked about the big three in our preview show, Primoz, Jonas, and Remco. And so far, there hasn't been huge differences between those guys. One guy will have a bad day, but he's still there. The day that Remco had a bad day, only lost 30 seconds. For me, the talk right now is what's going on in the quick step camp. How do you let a guy like Sepp get up the road? How do you not tell Remco that you're going for the stage win on a mountain day and just let him pull the last 1500? And what's going on in the team car? That really is the story of the Vuelta right now.
I really don't understand. First of all, that group of 40 riders, as you know that now that the teams are down to 8 riders, right? You can't chase a 40 rider group. If that happens, you either sprint with everything you have to close that gap, or you're done. And then basically, cross fingers that somebody else is going to come and help you. So that was not good. And then, I don't know what kind of miscommunication happened in stage 8, on the steep climb Chorre del Cati, where Remco, kind of bounced back. I think, after his weak moment on stage 6, he really looked very, very strong. There was a 4-kilometer climb with slopes of 15-20%. Lance, I don't know if you remember that climb. You did that climb once, and probably the only Vuelta a España you did in your career.
Not probably, definitely. Listen, let's not play this game. Right? I know you guys think this is fun and funny. I don't remember any of these things, so no, I don't remember it. I remember. You know what I remember? I remember placings. All right.
Yeah. Well, you were fourth.
So it doesn't. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter how we got there, right, or what you went over to get there. I just remember the placings.
Yeah. So you were Jose Maria Jimenez, may he rest in peace. Won the stage. Second, Roberto Heras. Third, Laurent Jalabert. Fourth, Lance Armstrong. Fifth, Kamenzint, Olano, Escartin, Dario Frigo. So all the climbers. And then I checked the times.
Except Jalabert.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, Jalabert had already won a Vueltas then.
I know, but
Johan, what's the call? What's the call? Like, what's Lefebvre doing the day that they let 40 guys get away?
Well, listen, Lefebvre is not involved anymore in those decisions.
He's negotiating the sale of his license. That's what he's.
We don't know about that. That's a rumor. We don't know what's going on there. He is at the Vuelta, or he was at the Vuelta the first week. So I don't really know. I mean, Remco.
Who's in the car? Who's the director? Is it Wilfred?
No. Peters is for the classics. It's I think it's Klaas Lodewijk, who was there last year, ex-rider of Quickstep, and Ilio Keise, also just retired.
It's their responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes. Remco took the blame. He said, maybe I didn't hear it. I was too caught up with, listen, it makes no sense. You should know. I mean, he knew there was 4 riders up front, and then he was pulling when they caught those 4 riders. So it was strange. However, I do take away that he looked completely different than on stage 6. On a steep climb like that, his cadence was amazing, and neither Roglic or Vingegaard attacked, not because they didn't want to, because they couldn't. They were going too fast.
And he had Sepp on the ropes too. So Sepp was kind of swinging on the wheel there. So the power he was demonstrating was very impressive. Yeah.
So I think the Vuelta is not over.
No, by no means.
After what we've seen yesterday, also, these guys, when Primoz attacked, there were 6-7 riders very, very close. So we'll see what's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on in Soudal Quickstep. Don't know. It's maybe a little bit of panic. I really don't understand.
Should we just not be surprised by this? We've been having the conversations. Remco's developing as a Grand Tour rider. Obviously, he's there. And we've been saying for some time that Quickstep's not equipped to support that. I mean, is that what's really going down here?
I mean, listen, as a team, they're doing okay. We can't expect them to be at the level of Jumbo-Visma. That's just, there's only one other team that's stronger than them. That's UAE. They also have, because they have strong riders. But, Remco has always 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 riders with him until, half of the last climb. In theory, that's enough. Unless you take the jersey, then you need at least one more guy. Because now, whatever happened was, as soon as Remco's last guy was done, it was up to him to set the pace, because Jumbo doesn't need to attack because they have Sepp Kuss. They had Sepp Kuss 3 minutes up the road, right? So that's gonna change now, and we'll see after tomorrow's result in the time trial what the strategy will be. But listen, they're not as strong. There's not as strong as Jumbo-Visma, so they have to be smarter. Easier said than done, of course, because if you're outnumbered, you can be as smart as you want. Then there's not much to do. But I think I kind of like what I see. I'm often criticized by some of our followers to be a Remco fanboy. I've been critical. I've been critical.
I think that's a fair assessment. I do. I really do. I don't know if it's risen to the level of having a poster of him in your bathroom like George does with some guys, but I think that's a fair observation by the listener.
I just think he's a great rider. I mean, he does things that nobody else does. So listen, the guy at 23 years old, the guy has won 48 races already.
Yeah,
not bad, But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the strategy is going to be. I don't know really. I really don't know. I think a lot is going to depend on the Tourmalet stage.
Yeah.
And tomorrow there's a whole new race starting. I mean, that time trial is going to equalize a lot of things, but as you still would never want to be in that position where you let another rider like Sepp in the mix in terms of the GC battle. So even if he gets that jersey tomorrow, he's still going to have to deal with Sepp, Primoz, and Jonas on the Tourmalet, on the Angliru.
And also a guy like, and also Marc Soler. Marc Soler is also let's see, he's also almost 2 minutes ahead of Remco. So and UAE can use him as they're also 3 guys, they have Ayuso, Almeida, and Marc Soler. Not the same quality as the 3 Jumbo guys, but still, Remco's on his own, that's for sure.
And let's not forget, our guru texted us this morning. We haven't really spoken about Ayuso, who's really the only rider that's beaten Remco in a time trial in the Tour of Switzerland. So he's been great. He hasn't been dropped. He's always right there with the top 3-4 guys on the climbs, and we'll see how he reacts in tomorrow's time trial. But I can expect a big ride from him as well.
No, Ayuso is definitely the real deal. Very, very always wanting to attack. His interviews, man. I mean, his interviews, I see them on Spanish TV. That guy is so confident. It's unbelievable for such a young guy. Knows what he wants. Whenever he doesn't win, he's not happy. He's a big champion. He's the real deal.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. Yesterday was really weird. And I was originally going to say, if you didn't see yesterday's stage, maybe Johan can explain what happened. I watched it and couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Mm-hmm. They had weather conditions, muddy conditions on the road for the last 2K. Why don't you explain to our listeners what happened and how that affected the race? It was very bizarre.
Well, as I said before, the weather has not been on the side of the Vuelta organizers and the riders. And yesterday, all over Spain, I mean, I'm in Madrid and I got this. The first time I ever had this, apparently you guys get this more, like this alert on my iPhone, like it shocked me. There was flooding and we had to stay in home. And obviously in the area where the Vuelta finished yesterday, there was also these alerts. There was mud on the roads. And I think that out of precaution, out of panic, and probably also to make sure that nothing happened like they had in Barcelona, the Vuelta took a decision during the stage, like in the last half of the stage, to have the GC times taken at about 2 kilometers from the top, because we saw images, it was muddy on the top. I'm all for decisions that are for the safety of the riders, but this one to me did not make any sense. First of all, it's an uphill finish. There's never going to be a bunch sprint there or too many riders. And they decide that the times for GC are taken with 2K to go, but yet the riders in the breakaway should sprint it out or race it out for the stage. So why are these guys why are they not worried about their safety? So I think it was more a panic reaction and just to make sure, hey, listen, let's just make sure if something happens to one of those big guys that they cannot blame us. But it looked really bad. It looked really bad on TV. It was, you had this Leonard Kemna won the stage, now also joining the club of the riders who win a stage in all 3 Grand Tours. Amazing breakaway rider. So you had that. And then you had this intermediate sprint, basically, 2K to go. And then that was it. You had Roglic kind of showing he was the strongest, but didn't take any time on the next 4 or 5 riders. It really didn't look good. Listen, it's for a reason that the Vuelta is only the 3rd most important stage race. They're not up to, and it says a lot because the Italians are not very well known for their organization skills either. But this is not this does not look professional at all.
I agree. Yeah. JB, I heard we got some trivia to knock out to rock.
Yes, just like we did in the Tour de France, we gave away a GS1. It doesn't cost you anything to enter. All you have to do is answer these Ventum trivia questions and email it in. All right. And you'll be in the drawing to win a GS1. Okay. So
by the way, but before you do this is, of course, Dia, the founder of Ventum is getting married. It's actually over our Thanksgiving break and he's getting married in Egypt. I thought, well, that's the weirdest thing ever. Egypt for things. Well, guess what? I'm taking the whole family now. I got the kids going.
Cool.
We're so excited. It's so, yeah. I mean, it's going to be cool to go to the wedding. I've never been to Egypt, but these pictures, I was like, yeah, I'm in. They got pyramids and camels and oceans. And I was like, yes. I can't wait.
Cool. Yeah, very cool. Congratulations to Dia. So let's answer the one from midweek. On Thursday, we did a show and I asked how many individual stages in the Vuelta did Johan win during his racing career? The answer was
only one.
Stage 12 in 1992.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Today's question.
Don't say the date.
They had derailleurs.
Hey, come on, Emma.
This is a fun one. This is a good question here. So our question today, and you can email your answer in, is how many combined U.S. National Championship road race titles did George and Lance win during their careers? Combined U.S. National Championship road race titles. Lance
Professionals?
Yeah, exactly.
Professional. Yes, professionally.
Okay, well, we'll say professional. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. We have to be clear on that, and I'll confirm that. So anyhow, we'll take either answer. How's that? We'll take either answer. Because you guys want as amateurs, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
correct.
But it looks like the answer they're looking for is as professionals. How many did they win combined? Send it to trivia@ventumracing.com. And at the end of this Vuelta, we'll be giving away their new minted GS1.
All right. Cool.
Great.
All right. Well, let's hope things calm down a little bit. And we'll see tomorrow. We'll see how the Ironman Sepp Kuss holds up. And best of luck to him. Boy, this is amazing. The guy's pound for pound, dollar for dollar. I mean, he's got to be one of the most valuable guys in the sport. Look at what he does.
The best.
I agree.
Think about it. I mean, what he does for the team, what he's doing in this race. And he just seems like he's this would be an amazing presence in the team. Just kind of chill demeanor.
I'd say he's the MVP of the season.
Yeah.
You can also see how happy these guys are for him. You know, like Vingegaard and Roglic, they know what they owe him.
Right.
This is like, okay, you know, they're so happy he's in the lead, and you know, hopefully it comes to a point where, you know, he's up there and they don't even want to attack him. That would be something.
Have you guys ever seen anyone guzzle champagne like that on the podium?
That was never. No. He said he was tipsy when he went off the stairs.
It was good for him. That's it. He say to the director, say, listen, I don't want to do 3 grand tours. So if you're making me do the third one, I'm getting hammered every night. Well, that's just the deal. It's working out.
To go out with that. I mean, that's kind of, it was amazing how he was drinking that champagne. But, you know, if we think back about his team manager criticizing Frances Desjeux in the Tour for drinking beer.
Oh, that's right.
It was not a really good sight, you know? Anyway, good for him.
We digress. All right.
He deserves it. He does.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. Happy, by the way, we didn't say this at the top of the show. For those in the U.S., hope you're having a great holiday weekend. Today's a holiday here in the U.S., Johan. You're making us work on a holiday.
I'm not setting the agenda.
Anyways,
we always have. I mean, let's we're very happy George could make it, and then once George says okay, then everybody works around that.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he's getting a little antsy. He's got to get out on the lake. I see it. He's got.
And we'll see you guys next Monday, right, for the next show.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.